What's up, freaks? Have you guys watched Weapons yet in theaters? Or if you're watching this down in the future, or down the road, have you at least get a chance to watch it in theaters? Or watch it when it was streaming, or at least get a copy of it? Because I gotta tell you guys, Weapons so far is the best horror movie of 2025. This is my biased opinion, or is it? If you've seen trailers, it's about this teacher whose entire class disappears overnight, except for one kid, and of course all the parents of the disappeared kids try to blame everything on her, and then she's trying to figure out also what happened. The first technical things that I like to say about Weapons. The director really knows what he's doing. And for those that don't know, he's the same director of Barbarian, if I'm not mistaken. That movie was Skarsgård and, what's-her-face? I think this director, learned a little bit from Barbarian on what direction to... Because I noticed something, that he knows how to use darkness. And what I mean by that is, he knows the difference between night and evil. There were shots in the film that happened during the night, but then if it goes further deeper within the night, it's pitch black, invisible. You can't see anything in it. At night, you can see some things. You can see people, streets, cars, houses, but within that pitch black of evil is completely it's a void. So he really knows how to separate regular darkness and evil darkness, which I thought was really, really cool. He kind of did the same in Barbarian, but this time I noticed it the most. I really noticed it. If you've seen Barbarian, then it's this almost similar vibe as Weapons, except Weapons has to do with kids. And I think that really has nothing to do with them feeling the same, actually, now that I think about it. The vibe on this one is actually more creepy and unsettling compared to Barbarian. Barbarian, for there you go, as the title is barbaric and really tough, kind of gore, not tough horror. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. The I think what's her name, the mother or something like that, Mama or something like that. The way she makes Barbarian barbaric. Unlike Weapons, it's creepy, unsettling, unfortunate, and if you've seen the trailers is actually a good mislead. A really good mislead on the way the story is told. Somewhat of a spoiler, not too much of revealing the plot, but there are multiple stories that eventually come together at the end. Almost as if there's different chapters, and each chapter is a different character that we follow, which eventually towards the end it all just comes together. I'm definitely not gonna give away anything about this movie. All I'm really gonna say is that, and if you're a parent or a new parent, you might not like this movie. Really be prepared, because I just got out of the movie theater, as these review opinion videos have been so far, all of us just leaving the movie theater and recording right away. Oh boy. When the movie started, everyone was just chomping and snacking and crinkling up their food, chomping on popcorn, picking up their sodas, making that clinkety clink ice sound that they have in cups, and chewing on popcorn, chips, whatever. Towards the middle of the movie, the theater was silent. Completely silent. Everyone was tense, including myself. I knew I was getting nervous. And keep in mind, I'm a horror fan. I watch a lot of horror movies. A lot. There's only a few horror movies that actually got me. That kind of freaked me out, or at least messed with my head. Midsummer, Megan is Missing, and VHS. The first one. Weapons, I have never been more tense. I wasn't scared, I was tense. I was my arms were crossed. I was biting my hand because of I know I'm ready, I'm trying to prepare myself what's about to happen. And my knuckles and my feet were just cold. And it wasn't because I went to the movie theater. It's, by the time I'm recording this, It's summer in Central Texas. It's around 100 degrees, and my feet were cold as much as my knuckles were. I kid you guys not. Weapons is a staple of new modern wave horror, and I'm actually gonna say I actually recommend this movie. Some horror movies these days, like, some of them are good. Like this year, what came out, like Sinners and The Monkey and Nosferatu, that came out this year, and Bring Her Back. But yeah, all the horror movies that have been playing this year, Weapons definitely is a trademark of modern horror. It has good tension. Soundtrack is whatever. But because the soundtrack really consists of some songs that really don't play along with the theme, at least stylistically. I'm sure lyrically there have been some parts that kind of fit in with what's about to happen or what just happened, like the song in the intro and then the song on the outro. It was literally a lyrical copyrighted song from some musician that I don't know of. Never heard the song before, but I'm assuming lyrically it fits with the story, but stylistically not so much. Instrumentally it does not fit that well. But that kind of music didn't matter. There were so many horror stings that actually made me like cringe out of creepiness, like ooh, I don't like that kind of sound. One of them sound like a slowed down motorcycle revving, a low pitched motorcycle rev. I'm gonna see if I could try to mimic it with some editing. So again, I say again, this movie is like creepy and it has to do with children. So already you can already assume what's gonna happen when it comes to horror movies and the disappearance of children. Okay, I don't think you needed anyone to try to tell you that, because that's always a given when it comes, especially with horror movies. It's not like sexually explicit towards children, so I'll give you that much. Like nothing like that happens in this kind of movie. It's just, for a parent, it's hard to watch, like, just elementary school kids disappear and no one knows why. Can be a little nerving for a parent to go watch this movie. Now, with a lot of movies, I try to figure out the theme and what they're trying to say, like the subtext of it. But this one, I genuinely could not figure out. And this isn't like let's just have fun with it kind of thing. This wasn't like a B movie. This was like an actual film. And I guess if I had to guess, maybe it has to do with like the duality of the selfish and the selfless, and the people who are trying to be selfless and less selfish, or heavier than that, the evil or the corrupt, and the people who surround themselves with those kind of people have to pay for just being around them, if that makes sense. Like they have to pay for consequences just for being around the corrupt. Maybe, I don't know. Also, it's not much of a spoiler, but there are dream sequences to where, dream sequences to me in movies, they're a little too cinematic for someone who has like a lot of dreams. I do have a lot of dreams, and I don't mean like, oh, I dream to be a superstar one day. No, I mean like I had a dream where there was a naked cat in my hands and I smashed its head in with a meat hammer. Those are the kind of dreams I have. And in the same dream, I put a turtle in a blender, and when I poured out the mushed turtle, it looked like red frosting. And that's just one of the few freaky ass dreams I've had. I've had dreams where my teeth are falling out, where my dead dad is back. So as someone who has those kind of dreams, I feel like dream sequences in films and all kinds of movies, they're really cinematic. While Weapons, they kind of really pinpoint dreams to where it's ridiculous, like, oh, that looks dumb. Well, that's kind of the point. All dreams, if you guys are, I'm sure most of you had dreams, and if you ever look back, that dream just made no sense, or logically wouldn't make sense. Like visually, like if you try to like really visualize that, like you can't, because of how over the top of ridiculous or just unreal it could ever be. I guess in just one of the dream sequences, like it showed that. like if you try to explain it to someone, like, oh, that's okay, that's weird. But in the dream, it's like, whoa, what the heck is this? So if you ever see that scene, just try to actually like put yourself in that position. How would you explain this dream to someone? I mean, the actors, Josh Brolin is in this film, and he plays like a good, like hardcore, dedicated father who's, you know, trying to desperately seek his son.
We're talking about 17 kids in one classroom. I want to know what happened in that classroom. Why just her classroom? Why only her?
I can't remember the actress's name. She was in the new Wolfman by Leigh Whannell. Her performance was good, and she really plays a good, like, victimized victim. Like she plays pity victim. The gore in this movie is like not a lot. It's not like too much blood. It's literally really realistic on accidental like injuries. Like, for example, not a spoiler, but the cop in the film, he was arresting a guy who looked like a homeless junkie. He was like patting him down. He said this classic, like, do you have any weapons that can poke, harm, or stab me? He's like, no. And then he puts his hand in his pocket, in the criminal's pocket, and he gets punctured by a dirty ass like knife, like a X-Acto knife. And everyone was just gasping and cringing, like, oh no, like even my toes were curling, because it was such a dirty knife, and he looked dirty himself, and then knowing that he got cut by that thing, that's already like it was realistic, is what I'm saying, on how like accidental and infected this cut can get just by this dirty ass knife.
But the regular gore is pretty good. It doesn't really spoil it, but let's just say that there's a part where someone gets stabbed by 3 dirty heroin needles in the face. Then someone in the movie actually gets ripped apart, literally limb by limb. I mean, literally. And you can actually see like flesh and bone ripping. Then there was another part where someone used their own face to smash someone's face in. And there was this other part, definitely not a spoiler, but let's just, have you seen Evil Dead Rise, the new one? Well, if you haven't seen it, there's a cheese grater scene. And it's similar to that, but instead of a cheese grater, it's with a peeler. Like I said, the gore is not like horror movie gore, like a monster eating someone. It's literally like just realistic gore of using common things like heroin needles.
As I mentioned before, the theater experience was the craziest theater experience I've ever had in a horror movie. Everyone was like gasping, screaming. There were jump scares. I swear, me and Shad went to go watch this. The guy in front of us would just not stop jumping. I don't know if he's never seen a horror movie, or if he had a little problem with horror movies, or I don't know. Or he's just sensitive to this kind of stuff, that he was constantly jumping, constantly like, oh my gosh, covering his mouth. At one point, he was even covering his ears. And then, according to Shad, after the movie, when we went to the bathroom, he noticed this girl who looked a little flushed. It looked like that she was crying during the movie. I don't know if she. I didn't see her, so I don't know if she was actually watching Weapons, or if her boyfriend just broke up, or her dad just died. I don't know. Either way, point is, if she did watch Weapons, that was one of the reactions. A girl was crying. The guy in front of us was constantly jumping. The guy right next to us, he kept he was hiding under his hoodie. I don't know if because it was cold or if he was just that nervous, but I was that nervous that my toes were curling and my toes were freezing as much as my knuckles. So with that being said, guys, short video today. On a side note, a lot of people thought this was a comedy because there were so many parts where people were laughing. There were some dream sequences that when the characters woke up from it, they'd be like, "What the fuck?" And then everyone just burst out laughing. I didn't think it was funny. Everyone thought it was funny except me, apparently. I guess I'm just some prude. I don't know. I just didn't find a lot of it funny. There were parts where someone was being chased and screaming, and then it cuts to like a guy mowing the lawn, and they look over. He looks over, and then sees the person running, screaming, and then the chaser chasing them. and then everyone was like really bursting out loud. Well, I was just focused on the kind of realism that was going on with that person screaming like that while being chased. So if I know another movie like that would probably be The Monkey. The Monkey was kind of a black horror comedy, which that one I kind of saw coming, and I thought that comedy was good. This one just seemed like just realistic that I couldn't find funny. But that's just me. I hope you guys go watch it and then come back and comment on what you guys thought. If you're a horror fan, you need to watch Weapons. This movie is good horror. It is a good horror film. And keep watching movies, guys, because this is Feature Freaks, where everything is about movies. Bang! Get it? Because weapons go bang.